Today, we're going to dive into one of the most powerful and, let's be honest, kind of counterintuitive persuasion techniques out there. It's pulled straight from Dale Carnegie's absolute classic, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I mean, really think about it. You've got that meeting with your boss or a tense chat with a family member. Maybe you're just trying to get a break on your rent. You walk in, your shoulders are all tight, you're ready for a fight. And you know what? You've probably already lost. We've all been there. So in those moments, we basically have two ways to go. We can come in with what Carnegie calls a gallon of gall, arguments, hostility, making demands, or we can try just a single drop of honey, leading with friendliness, some genuine appreciation, and just a willingness to talk. One way usually gets you a slam door. The other, well, it can open doors you didn't even know were there. To really see how this honey approach works in the real world, let's jump into a case study from the book. It's an absolute masterclass in flipping a totally impossible situation. Okay, so meet our hero for today, an engineer named O.L. Straub. He loves his apartment, he wants to stay, but his lease is about to expire. Seems simple enough, right? Well, not quite. See, Straub needed his rent lowered to be able to stay. And the landlord? He had this reputation for being, in Carnegie's words, hard-boiled. That doesn't exactly scream open to negotiation, does it? And get this, other tenants had already tried the old way. They went in with that gallon of gall. They argued, they complained, they made demands, and every single one of them struck out. So by all accounts, this was a hopeless cause. Straub was basically walking into a brick wall. So what does he do? Does he prepare for battle? Nope. Straub decides to do something completely different. He decides to try that little drop of honey. Just picture it for a second. The landlord shows up at the door, probably bracing for another argument. But instead, Straub opens the door with this big, genuine smile. He's not angry or defensive, he's welcoming, he's enthusiastic. Right away, the whole vibe of the meeting is totally different. And this, right here, is a perfect example of one of Carnegie's most important principles. Always begin in a friendly way. It sounds almost too simple, but it just completely disarms the other person and makes them way more open to what you have to say. And we hear it straight from Straub himself. He wasn't faking it. He fully committed to this positive approach. He said he was, quote, hearty in my approbation and lavish in my praise. He really went all in. And here's the key. He didn't start by complaining about the rent. Not a word about it. Instead, he started complimenting the landlord on what a fantastic job he did running the building. It was specific and it was sincere. Which brings us to another one of Carnegie's golden rules: give honest and sincere appreciation. Straub made the landlord feel seen and respected before ever asking for a thing. You guys, this is the secret ingredient. So the big question is, did this wild strategy actually work on a hard-boiled landlord who had already shot down everyone else? Well, the result was nothing short of amazing. The landlord was just floored. He'd never been treated like this by a tenant before. So instead of putting up a wall, he actually opened up. He started talking about his problems, all the other tenants who just complained and threatened him. The whole thing shifted from a tense negotiation into a real conversation between two human beings. And then, this is where the magic happens. Before Straub even gets a chance to bring up the rent, the landlord, feeling understood, feeling appreciated, just offers a reduction himself. He volunteers it. So Straub calmly says, well, here's the figure I could afford. And the landlord, the same tough-as-nails guy, just accepts it. On the spot. No haggling, no fighting, just an agreement. Done. But wait, it gets even better. As he was leaving, the landlord's last words were, "What decorating can I do for you?" I mean, come on. He didn't just give Straub what he wanted. He offered to do more. He went from an enemy to a partner, all because of that one drop of honey. Now, this isn't just a feel-good story. It's a literal playbook. It's a set of rules that we can all use, whether we're talking to a landlord, a client, a coworker, anyone. Carnegie loved this quote from Abraham Lincoln, and it really just says it all, doesn't it? A drop of honey catches more flies than a gallon of gall. Pushing and fighting that gallon of gall, it just makes people dig their heels in. But that drop of honey, that sincere friendliness, that's the real path to getting someone on your side. So here it is, your takeaway playbook. 1, start friendly. 2, give real honest appreciation. 3, Genuinely try to see where they're coming from. 4, be sympathetic to what they want and what they're thinking. And 5, this is a big one, let them do most of the talking. Stroud nailed every single one of these, and it turned a lost cause into a huge win. And remember, all of this comes from a book that was written way back in 1937. It's just proof that even though our world changes like crazy, human nature pretty much stays the same. This stuff is just as powerful today as it was almost a century ago. So that leaves us with just one final question to chew on. Think about that tough conversation you've been avoiding, or that negotiation you're dreading. What do you think would happen if, this time, you started not with a gallon of gall, but with just a single drop of honey?